Good afternoon, everybody. Nate Eaton here outside the courthouse. Just figured I'd come on and do a quick little update. We have officially begun the Lori Vallow Daybell trial here in Phoenix. Today began with a juror who was late, and so we had to wait for that juror. But then there was also another juror who's apparently brought in a letter from his boss who had concerns about jury duty. And ultimately, the judge ended up dismissing the juror after the prosecution gave opening statements, simply because the juror said that if I serve on this jury, it's going to hurt me financially with child support and alimony. And the judge said, is there a reason you didn't bring this up last week? He said he was unaware that that his employer did not provide a benefit. So there was that issue. There was another issue involving Brandon Boudreaux, who was there to observe the opening statements. Of course, this trial is not about a shooting on his life. This is about Charles Vallow's death. But the prosecution asked if he could stay in the courtroom. He is a witness. He's listed on Lori's list as a witness, but he was never served a subpoena. And the judge had to ask her, what is the relevant information he has pertaining to your case? They went into a sidebar where they all put on their headphones. Lori did, the prosecution did, and the judge to discuss this. Brandon then had to be walked out for a brief moment and brought back in. And then the judge ruled that Brandon could stay. He struck him from the witness list without prejudice, meaning he can bring it back up again if he feels that it's important. If Brandon can testify to things as pertaining to the case, he could get called. But for now, he can be in the courtroom. Well, then, finally, after, a little over an hour of delays, the prosecution gave their opening statement. And Trina Kay did it. It was about an hour, 40 minutes to an hour. I have to double check the exact timing. And she testified that Lori felt that she needed to do as Nephi would do. Nephi being a prophet from the Book of Mormon who was instructed to kill a man in the Book of Mormon. And she talked about how the jurors will see text messages between Lori. They will hear from witnesses who, including Adam Cox, who had come to Phoenix to help do some sort of intervention for his sister, who had been talking about things concerning Charles. We will hear from detectives. We will hear from the medical examiner. An interesting person we will hear from is a woman who went on a date with Charles the night before he was killed. She will testify that Charles, according to Trina Kay, that Charles told her all about his quote-unquote crazy wife, the life insurance policy, the beneficiary being changed. Charles had apparently told this woman, Nancy Jo, all of this stuff. And then after July 11th, he ghosted her. And she thought, oh, I must have done something, or he doesn't like me anymore, whatever she thought. She didn't realize that he had been killed until she actually saw the news. So she's going to testify in this trial. You're also going to hear from the detectives who responded to the case. There's body camera footage. The firearms expert who will testify about the trajectory of the bullets that Charles Vallow was shot in his chest. One interesting point Trina Kay made is that there was no other blood in the home that day other than the blood pooling beneath Charles's body. Alex Cox didn't have any blood on his hand, on his face. There were no towels that had blood on them. There were no drips throughout the house. She is making the argument that if it really was self-defense, why wasn't he bleeding? Why wasn't there a scene, something with Alex's? Instead, she says it was staged. And she talks about how Lori Vallow left the house, called Alex, I believe, 3 minutes after she left the home. They then spoke again 17 minutes later, and then called 911. So that's what happened this morning. After lunch ends around 1:30 Arizona time, so that's 2:30 in Idaho. Then Lori Vallow will give her opening statement, and she has said she wants to give one today. It's her option. She could wait and give one after the state rests, but she wants to do it now. So she will give her opening statement, and then we will see who or which witnesses the state calls. Kay Woodcock is here. Brandon Boudreaux is here. Jerry Vallow, Charles's brother, is here. Let's see, who else is in the courtroom? There's Rex Connor, Lori's uncle, is in the courtroom with some of his daughters. and a couple of other extended family members, I believe, are here. The courtroom is packed. Every seat is taken. In fact, there were some people who weren't able to get in this morning, and I predict that might be how it goes the next few days, few weeks. And then a lot of media. All the media seats are packed. There's national media, local media, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna head back inside. I wanted to come down and give you an update. Gonna go grab some lunch. Jordan is making sure all the video feed gets to you. We realize there might be some issues with sound or the camera work. That's not on us. Court TV is the pool camera, and it's always day one. So they're gonna work on getting those kinks worked out. One thing that helps if you're having a problem hearing is putting in earbuds or earphones. That often helps if you can kind of isolate the sound in there. But if you didn't have a chance to watch, I'm doing written updates on my X account, also on eastidahonews.com. And then tonight, please join me for Courtroom Insider. I'll break it all down, the first day of the trial and the first day of many, as we will see. So here's a quick glance outside the courthouse. Beautiful day in Phoenix, probably in the 80s, maybe the 90s. Not 90s, 80s. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful area. Okay, so I am going to head inside now, and we'll keep you updated. I'm Nate Eaton for East Idaho News. Thanks for watching.